Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Wynna Wong. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. COVID cases in Hong Kong climbed to their highest daily tally since early April. There are complaints of traffic jams as security in Wan Chai is beefed up for handover anniversary events. And Turkey gives Finland and Sweden the green light to join Nato. Hong Kong's daily COVID caseload has shot past 2,000 to hit an 11-week high. But the authorities maintain that the city's health system is well prepared, and there are no signs that case numbers will suddenly explode. Hong Kong reported 2,004 new COVID cases, the first time since April 9th that daily infections exceeded 2,000. Today's total included 155 imported infections. There were 25 additional cases of the BA.2.12.1 Omicron subvariants, 13 of which had unknown sources. There were 4 more untraceable cases of the less common BA.4 and BA.5 subvariants, although the government is looking into whether one person contracted the virus because he works in Causeway Bay's Nina Hotel, where incoming travelers are quarantined. A total of 217 students in 187 schools tested positive this morning. 3 schools which had 2 or more cases in a single class have been told to suspend face-to-face lessons. They are the Tin Shui Wai Government Secondary School, Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Kindergarten on Lama Island, and Chan Pak Wan Memorial Kindergarten in North Point. With local cases steadily rising again, Albert Au from the Center for Health Protection said the government is closely monitoring the situation. He said an increase of around 2,000 cases per day over the past week shows there are several active transmission chains, likely due to the relaxation of measures last month. However, he assured there are no signs the caseload will explode anytime soon, and most people testing positive now have mild symptoms. Security has been tightened in Wan Chai North ahead of events on Friday to mark the 25th anniversary of the handover and the inauguration of the new government. Road closures have caused traffic jams, while vehicles are checked from top to bottom. Chloe Wong reports.
Giant water-filled barriers were erected near the Convention and Exhibition Center in Wan Chai last Saturday. Since then, road closures have been stepped up in the so-called core security zone, where President Xi Jinping might visit or be driven past. This has led to traffic congestion and diversions. Several roads in Wan Chai North were sealed off from today until 2 p.m. on Friday, affecting 23 bus routes that terminate in the area and another 30 that pass through. Vehicles are also inspected. Cable TV's news van was checked thoroughly. The Grand Hyatt, which is accommodating guests attending anniversary events, has been sealed off, with officers inspecting the undercarriage of cars. This driver complained that he was stuck in a jam for 20 minutes, adding that congestion in the area was rarely that severe. This woman advised commuters who have to go through Wan Chai to begin their journey early. Starting tomorrow, Exhibition Center Station on the East Rail will be closed until 2 p.m. on Friday. Police said the extent of the road closures and other measures could be adjusted at short notice, depending on actual conditions. Chloe Wong, HKIBC.
The Hong Kong Journalists Association has expressed extreme regret that at least 10 members of the local and international media have been barred from covering handover anniversary events because of security reasons.
Although the ISD allowed them to change other person, they have not meet any COVID test before. They cannot meet the requirements issued by the ISD So most of them have to give up. They have no photographers, they have no cameraman to cover the ceremony. So it is quite laughable that the local and Hong Kong media cannot cover the ceremony. It is really a quite disastrous situation.
The South China Morning Post, Mingpao, HK01, Now TV, and Agence France Presse were among the news outlets that were told to replace the original journalists assigned for the events. When asked, former Justice Minister Elsie Leung said she doesn't believe that the government has blacklisted some journalists. 6 men have been arrested on suspicion of illegal racing on the Fanling Highway. During the race, one car burst into flames after crashing into a water barrier before it was rammed by another car. Joanna Ho reports.
Police seized 6 private cars of the same model and arrested 6 men suspected of illegal racing on the Fanling Highway late on Sunday night. Dashcam footage from a passing vehicle showed one of the cars on fire after crashing into a row of water-filled barriers on the roadside before it was hit by another car allegedly involved in the race. The 2 drivers then escaped in the cars of the other 4 suspects. The 6 men, aged between 23 and 40, were believed to have participated in an impromptu race on the Santine and Fanling highways after gathering in Ngau Tam May. Some of them were charged with illegal road racing, dangerous driving, and a hit and run. One was also accused of misleading officers with false information by reporting that his car was stolen in Lok Ma Chau about 15 minutes after the accident. Investigation and Support Division Superintendent Lam Chi Yun said all the cars that were seized will be inspected to see if they were illegally modified. He urged witnesses who have dashcam footage or videos of the illegal race to contact police. Joanna Ho, HKIBC.
The Philippine government has ordered the closure of investigative news site Rappler, which has been critical of President Rodrigo Duterte. But Rappler's founder, Maria Ressa, has dismissed the order and will challenge it in court.
Absolutely. We continue to work. It is business as usual. We will follow the legal there is a process, and we'll follow the legal process. We'll continue to stand up for our rights.
Ressa, who's a Nobel Peace Laureate, has locked horns with Duterte over her critical reporting of his government. The president is set to leave office tomorrow and will be succeeded by Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Finland and Sweden are closer to joining Nato after Turkey ended its opposition. But there's concern that Kurdish independence activists in the Nordic countries may face crackdown. Sarah Wong reports.
Russian President Vladimir Putin's worst nightmare is fast becoming a reality as NATO is set to expand further. Finland, which borders Russia, is on track to join the Western Defense Alliance along with Sweden after securing the blessing of NATO member Turkey. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan had earlier been reluctant and had accused the 2 Nordic countries of harboring Kurdish fighters whom he deems to be terrorists. In return for Turkey's nod, Finland and Sweden pledged to help the Turks combat terrorism and cease supporting the Kurdish groups PKK and YPG, which have been fighting for an independent Kurdistan.
Now President Putin is getting more NATO on his borders. So what he gets is the opposite of what he actually demanded, and that was to NATO to close its doors. We are demonstrating that NATO stores are open. NATO store is open.
Erdogan's approval came as NATO countries converge in Madrid to address perceived security threats posed by Russia. The addition of these Scandinavian military powers will significantly bolster NATO's northeastern flank, where 3 Baltic states are constantly wary of a Russian attack. But human rights watchers are concerned about the fate of Kurdish militants and other individuals said to be deported or extradited to Turkey as the price for NATO's expansion. Sarah Wong, HKIBC.
A former White House official has dropped a bombshell during a testimony to a congressional committee investigating the Capitol insurrection in January last year. The aide to then White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said former President Donald Trump ordered security officials not to stop armed protesters from going to a rally he held just before the riots.
Where I overheard the president say something to the effect of, I don't effing care that they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me. Take the effing mags away. Let my people in. They can march to the Capitol from here. Let the people in. Take the effing mags away.
Just to be clear, Ms. Hutchinson, is it your understanding that the president wanted to take the mags away and said that the armed individuals were not there to hurt him?
That's a fair assessment.
Hutchison also said Trump tried to grab the steering wheel when his driver refused to take him to the Capitol when rioting erupted. The former president reacted by describing Hutchison's testimony as fake news, calling her a phony and a leaker. The head of his security detail and his driver are reportedly willing to appear before the congressional panel and deny her account. Beverage manufacturer Vitasoy will not be issuing dividends for the first time in 2 decades. The company reported a deficit of $160 million in the year ending in March, compared with $550 million in profit in the previous year. Revenue from the mainland market plunged by 23% after netizens called for a boycott of Vitasoy products over a leaked memo. The memo expressed condolences to the family of an employee who killed himself after stabbing a police officer on July 1st last year. Chief Executive Roberto Guidetti said the firm is rebuilding its mainland network.
We were encouraged by experiencing in the last few quarters the restoration of productive relationship with our customers, an increasingly positive sentiment from the shoppers towards our products. We've done town halls, we've done live streaming with all the associates in China, and the goal was to share perspective, taking their questions, clarify, and also spending time together.
The Hong Kong stock market ended a 4-session rally after fears of an economic downturn triggered a global sell-off. The Hang Seng Index lost 1.9%, wiping away a third of its gains in the 4 previous sessions. But it remains on course for its best monthly performance in a year and a half. Automaker NIO tumbled 11% after a short seller accused the Shanghai-based company of inflating its revenue figures. A look at the markets now. The Hang Seng Index was down 422 points. Top 10 active stocks, Tencent was down 80 cents, Alibaba down $3.60. AIA up 85 cents, Hong Kong exchanges down $12. In foreign exchange rates, it's 8.25 to the euro and 9.54 to the British pound. And in foreign markets, the UK FTSE is up 9 points. On to the weather now. Sunny intervals tomorrow will give way to thunderstorms later in the day. Temperatures will range between 27 and 31 degrees. More unsettled weather as we head into the long weekend. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. And that's our main news for Wednesday night. Join us for more at 11. I'm Wynna Wong. Good night.